Eugenia. So today I thought I would do a video just kind of like talking to you guys about, I guess, some thoughts that I've kind of had and just kind of about like how I feel about the internet sometimes and things like that. It also has seemed like kind of like a lot of you guys have been wanting a kind of like updatey kind of video from me, which sometimes it can be kind of scary making those kind of videos just because I feel like sometimes there can kind of be so many people really quick to kind of like judge like what you say and sometimes like analyze and put you down for what you say. I thought, like, whatever. Sometimes people are gonna get mad no matter what. I may as well just make a video kind of like that. So, I guess that's what I'm doing today. So, I don't know, guys. I guess, like, the internet, I just feel like sometimes it can just be, like, such a crazy place. And don't get me wrong. First of all, I definitely want to make, like, clear. I'm just, like, you know, super grateful for every person that does, like, support me or care about me or even, like, doesn't totally hate me in like any way. You know, I'm always like super grateful for like the positive aspects of the internet, and that's really the stuff like I try to focus on. But I guess like sometimes it can be kind of hard to not at all pay attention to like negative stuff, just because like sometimes if I go on like Twitter or Instagram or just like whatever, I just kind of feel like sometimes I'm just like looking at like so much negativity, and you know, a lot of people just kind of getting angry and some people getting like a little bit obsessive at times with like their hate or anger, I guess. And I feel like sometimes that honestly can be a little bit stressful. Like I totally understand that people have the right to like say their opinion and that like I put myself out there on the internet. So that's probably, I guess, partly my fault, but I don't know. Sometimes I just really feel like there can just be like so much negativity, and it can be a little bit stressful just seeing so many people think badly of you and saying constantly negative things about you. Sometimes I will also feel like it will kind of like go beyond just even like me. And something that I'll especially feel extremely bad about is sometimes like if someone is just like a family member of mine, or if there's someone that is in any way, I guess, kind of like associated with me, and I'll see that people also go and give them tons of hate too, which that's something I just like really don't ever like to see happening, guys. I especially don't like to see like other people affected by, you know, just being nice to me. Or for example, I've been kind of learning to drive, which I know some people have like mixed feelings about, but it's actually been going pretty well. So anyways, I had like this driving instructor that's kind of been like helping me with driving lessons and things like that. She's like a super sweet lady. The couple of lessons that I've had with her and everything, she's just been super nice and has definitely done nothing wrong. So there was one day I was like talking to her, and then she kind of said hi on just like my Instagram story. Right away people started making like these theories about like who she really is or whatever. Some people that actually went like far enough to like track her down and literally start trying to like interfere with her job and like leaving her bad reviews and things like that, and kind of like harassing her, which I just really don't like to see that happening, guys. I just really hate to see anybody have to deal with like hatred or have to deal with things that like, you know, potentially like affect their life just from, you know, being nice to me or associating with me in like any way. And I just kind of feel like that's really unnecessary to go hate on others. And I don't know, guys, just kind of like in general, I just kind of wish sometimes that people just could be less hateful towards people just like in general. Because not just towards me, like sometimes I'll also see like other people get hate, like I was saying, and I just kind of wish like sometimes people would just like think about how, you know, the things that you say to people and hate that you give to people like really can sometimes really affect them and just the way that person might feel about themselves or feel about life or just like whatever. So I just really wish sometimes that people could keep that in mind more and just kind of try to be more positive towards other people. Sorry guys, it just seems a little scattered, by the way. I did make some notes on my phone just so I can kind of hopefully remember like all the points that I want to talk about and everything like that. So just letting you guys know that I did do that. So if any of this does seem a little scattered or you see me looking at my phone, then that's why. Like I really try not to let it get to me, but sometimes it's just really unfortunate. Like I guess having people believe so many things about you that just aren't true, and people kind of like getting this idea about the type of person that they think you are when you just really don't feel like the type of person they're trying to like portray you as. I've literally seen like some people just kind of make like full videos just claiming things that are just like flat out lies as facts. A lot of time, like, you know, I try not to say too much about it because I never want to seem like I'm like being mean back to people or attacking people or like whatever. I don't know, like some stuff sometimes it is kind of a little bit like unfortunate, like seeing that stuff about yourself, because like you just know it isn't true, but sometimes it just really feels and seems like people just want to always believe like the absolute worst. Whether I'm on like a Twitch stream, or sometimes I'll address things like a little bit on my social media and just like try to kind of just like explain like my side of things or like clarify things to people or whatever. And sometimes I'll just kind of feel like people always want me to be kind of like the bad one in the situation, and people kind of just be really quick to like twist around my words or be like, she knows what she's doing, when I'm really just trying to explain how I feel sometimes. I just kind of feel like sometimes like no matter what you say or do, it's like wrong to people, and it's just so hard to make other people or like some other people like happy sometimes, I guess, and just like to please them. And it's crazy because like I literally never do mean to be mean to anyone. Like sometimes I'm just kind of trying to explain how I feel or like whatever. I'm sorry if I ever come off that way, because like I never mean to, and I really never do want to be mean to anyone. And also it's like with some of the lies and like some of the scandals that people try to make about me, I just feel like it will be sometimes such like trivial things. Like people will make like scandals about me like moving a box and like thinking there's people paying me to do it or crazy stuff like that, which obviously none of that stuff is even true. It's kind of just me moving things like how anyone else moves things. But then it's like, you know guys, like there actually are some people out there that are actually doing like terrible, like bad things in the world, and sometimes it's just kind of like I feel like the little things that people will focus on. I want to be clear that this isn't like just about me. It's just kind of like sometimes I feel like the little things. I'm also just kind of speaking from like my experience, I guess, so that's why I'm talking about some of these things. But I just kind of feel like, you know guys, like sometimes people will be focused on like such little trivial things that very well could not even be true. I feel like there actually are some things going on in the world and some things that people are doing that actually are like legitimately like really bad. I just kind of think that those are the bad things that people should be more focused on. Like if someone was like killing their dog, then me like moving a box. And like I know some people will say like certain things about me and they'll be like, oh, Eugenia knows what she's doing or this and that, and sometimes it's just so weird to me because like I'm just really never trying to do anything wrong. At the same time, guys, like I kind of feel like, in my opinion, I just really feel like people, like regardless of what they look like and regardless of their size and like, you know, regardless of any of that, I just kind of feel like everybody has the right to make videos and to post a photo of themselves or just like whatever. I feel like sometimes with me, it's like people always be trying to turn that into like such a bad thing, when really I'm just posting an outfit that I like or doing makeup that I think is cool or like whatever. And I just kind of feel like everybody, you know, no matter who they are, should have the right to do that, like regardless of what they look like and regardless if like they're bigger or smaller or like whatever size they are. I just kind of feel like everyone should be able to like exist and I guess like put themselves out there. I know that there's some people that are always like telling me to get off the internet or things like that, but and then maybe some people would use that against me too and be like, well, you're not even trying to make people happy or like whatever. But like I said, guys, I just kind of think that even if like people are really trying to like, you know, like I guess like cancel someone or kick someone off or just like whatever, it just kind of goes back to how I just really feel like everyone has the right to just like be themselves and to, I guess, like exist in the world kinda, and to post a photo of themselves or a video of themselves or whatever. I just really don't think like anybody should be like put down for that and just like for doing like, you know, what they enjoy. Like I'm never ever trying to like encourage anything bad or anything like that, like regardless of like what some people want to say about me or like whatever. At like the end of the day and everything, like I'm really just a person just like anyone else. Sometimes I feel feel like people can try to like so villainize people. I just kind of wish that people would just remember that all of us, it's like we're all just people really, and none of us are perfect. You know, like we're all gonna make mistakes sometimes. We're all gonna sometimes like say things that we wouldn't say later in life, and that we're all just kind of like, you know, learning and growing every day. And that's where I want to say, guys, like, you know, for times that I've ever said or done anything wrong, I'm sorry for that. And just know, like, I really don't ever mean to be like saying anything wrong or like just trying to make everyone mad or anything like that. I think like sometimes it's just so hard to kind of, I guess, like say everything right for people. Like I said, like sometimes we're just, I think, all gonna sometimes like not say things like right or make mistakes in life. When it comes down to it, I just really do try to be a good person. I just really try to like really live by the golden rule. It's really such a simple rule to just like treat people the way you want to be treated. Honestly, I just try to be kind towards others, not judge other people. And I just kind of wish, like, you know, not to say everyone should be like me at all. I'm not saying that. Like I said, I'm just a person, but I just kind of think we could, what we could all do just like as people, to just like treat people the way you want to be treated. And just like remember that sometimes, like, if you're really attacking someone else, imagine if maybe you were that person and you just had all these people attacking you and telling you horrible things. It's like, you know, it might not really be the best feeling. So I just kind of wish people would sometimes just like keep that in mind a little more. Like, I generally try to just like be positive and to have like a positive attitude toward things. And for me, sometimes I just kind of feel like that's better than, you know, trying to focus on like negativity. But I just kind of feel like sometimes like people just kind of want to point out like the bad things about somebody, or like what they think is like wrong with someone or the bad things. People don't really want to try to always like look at someone's like good qualities or like the good things about somebody. I guess sometimes I just kind of wish that people would just try to be more positive towards others and try to like point out maybe like the more positive things you see about somebody instead of just like constantly just like all the negative. I just kind of also think that sometimes it's just better to just kind of focus on the present moment and to not just kind of dwell on the past. Sometimes I feel like a lot of people just kind of will really enjoy drama and want there to be drama between people or just whatever, when really sometimes I really think it is kind of better for everyone to just like try to move on. It makes it kind of hard when people keep bringing up things from the past and keep bringing up things that happened between people from the past and things like that. When you think about it, really focusing on that stuff is really not gonna really serve like any kind of real purpose. It's not really gonna do any good, I think, for anyone involved, other than maybe like, you know, bring back like some negative feelings and things like that. I just kind of think like sometimes it's better to just like try to move on, try to focus more on the present and on the future going forward, guys. Like, no names here, anything like that, because really, if anything, I just want to send out love to everyone. I just like, you know, only want to wish like well for people going forward, and I just wish everybody good. I don't wish anyone any bad. And sometimes I just kind of think it's better to just like, you know, leave things in the past and not to focus so much on those past situations. It does make it a little hard when people like keep bringing up like situations that were hard for you, because like sometimes it just kind of can be hard, because also from things people have said in the past, people will say really mean things about my mom, about my family, about things like that. And then sometimes it makes it a little bit hard to, you know, I guess like not say something or whatever. But even for times that maybe I focused too much in the past, guys, like, you know, I'm sorry for that. It's just kind of been, I guess, a little hard for me not to, when people are just kind of constantly bringing stuff up to me and, you know, talking about things. I just really think for like everybody involved in any situation, guys, sometimes it's just better to just kind of leave things alone, wish everyone well, and just kind of focus on the present and the future and to try to be positive. And yeah, I guess that's kind of my feelings towards that. I feel like sometimes there will just be like so much toxicity, and sometimes when a lot of people are kind of like turning against someone or whatever, people will just be like so quick to kind of jump on a like hate bandwagon, or to just like be really quick to believe whatever is said in like certain videos or whatever. I feel like sometimes people just kind of see like a lot of other people attacking someone or saying like certain things about them, and then suddenly a bunch of other people join in and like suddenly start saying those same things. I feel like a lot of the time, a lot of these people probably wouldn't even ever say these things in real life. I mean, I would through a lot of bullying like in school and things like that too. So, like sometimes people can be mean in real life too, but a lot of just like the terrible things that I see online sometimes. It's just kind of like, sometimes I guess when people are just kind of behind a screen and like, you know, behind a keyboard, people just seem to be like a lot more willing to say things that they probably wouldn't in real life, like ever. But I don't know. I just kind of hope like even like for those people that hopefully one day they just kind of find like more positive things to do and like better ways to, you know, spend, I guess, like that time and energy. Because I just kind of feel like with how dedicated some people are, guys, like they were to spend all that time on something positive, they'd probably be doing some really good things actually. I also feel like sometimes you guys, like people will very much get the wrong idea and will think that I think like everyone's a hater when I don't. I actually don't try to call many people haters at all. Like really only people that are being like legitimately hateful. And I really appreciate like everyone that does care about me. Like I definitely do not try to just call everyone haters. But some of the messages that I will see like on a pretty daily basis, like I will see DMs and things like that, just like, you know, like actually like telling me sometimes like literally in detail like how badly they want me to like kill myself. And some of these people like they will like keep doing it like constantly and just telling me how disgusting I am and what a horrible person I am and how the world will be a better place when I'm finally gone. And like I guess it's okay, but sometimes it's just kind of like I feel like that stuff is like kind of unnecessary to say to anyone. I'm pretty used to seeing a lot of this stuff, so I guess it's fine, like whatever. Something that I really do want to say is like sometimes when some of you guys are, you know, sending those kind of messages, like you never know that if you sent that to a certain person or if you sent that to the wrong person who might, you know, be like really take that seriously. You just never really know how hurtful it might be or how it could make them feel, how even if somebody might like act on that, which would obviously be awful. So the big reason I just really think that people really just like in general shouldn't send those kind of messages like to anybody. Sometimes I would feel like a lot of people like do not want to be this way towards me. It's okay, everyone can have like their own, I guess, like views and opinions and all that, but just like in the world, I just kind of like, I guess like my outlook is we should all try to just be like accepting towards each other and try to be kind to one another. That is like how I try to be towards others. Like I really never want to try to judge anyone or just like to put others down, especially if I don't know someone. I just kind of feel like it isn't right for me to do that. But it's like sometimes instead of just being like so fast to judge another person or put someone else down or just like whatever, sometimes we should just like try to be more understanding towards each other and more understanding towards like someone's feelings. Also just kind of maybe like get to know someone before you decide like you hate them. Another thing, guys, that sometimes I'll always kind of see people saying towards me, still making like a really big deal about. There's been like one stream that like comes to my mind. There might have been more where maybe I said it without even like realizing it and just like thought of it. Where I've said like, sorry you feel that way. I just really want to be clear about that, guys. Times where I have ever said that, or the time that I did say that people always seem to like talk about. So I have never tried to say that line like in a like sarcastic or dismissive or offensive way, and I would never do that. It's just that like sometimes, guys, it's like when people like come in my streams or say things to me or like whatever that maybe just aren't very nice or aren't really things that I guess I agree with about myself or about something, then sometimes I just kind of really don't know what else to say. People think I'm saying it like sarcastically, but it's like I honestly am like sorry if what I'm saying or doing, like I guess they don't agree with it or feel differently about me, but it doesn't really mean that I guess I'm just gonna like, you know, change or feel differently or like whatever, because it's just kind of a matter of like, I guess like differing opinions. And I just really feel like, you know, like in life sometimes like people aren't always gonna have the same opinions. Like sometimes people are gonna have like a different opinion from each other. And then sometimes for me, which I'm so sorry if I'm wrong, you know, feeling this way, but I guess like I just kind of figure I just don't really know like what else to say, because sometimes people will be like, you know, saying something that's kind of an attack, and I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, I'm sorry that you know, like feel that way, but I, you know, just kind of feel differently. Basically what I'm trying to say with that, guys, like I really never have meant to say that with like malicious intent at all. I feel like sometimes people be really quick to like pick apart like the way you say things or like words, but I can just tell you guys that definitely anytime that I've used that line, it's never been with malicious intent like whatsoever. It's never been me trying to be rude or anything like that. So just kind of wanted to clear it up, I guess. Sometimes people will say like the most like terrible things, and sometimes I just kind of feel like I need to like explain and try to like defend myself a little bit. And then I feel like sometimes whenever I do, then I end up like just wondering like what I'm allowed to say or not allowed to say, because I just feel like nothing's right. Then people will kind of be like, oh look, Eugenia's maskless, she's fake, she's whatever, this is the real her real colors have shown. And sometimes I just kind of don't really know like even what to say, and I just feel like everything's like so analyzed, so it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm more positive too, that I'm spreading toxic positivity. So it's just kind of like, I don't know sometimes, but yeah. Besides all that, not that this like matters that much because I know there's like more important things or like whatever. But besides all that, you guys, like I am doing pretty good and all of that. I guess everything's been mostly going pretty okay in my life, but I guess sometimes this stuff, like, as much as I try not to let it, will kind of stress me out a little bit. But when it comes down to it, I don't know, guys. I mean, I know I'm definitely not perfect or anything like that. I'm never trying to claim that I am. I just do try to live a good life and to live the best life I can. I just really believe that, you know, we're all equal. We all should try to treat each other with kindness and acceptance and everything. I don't know. That's just kind of what I try to do in life. I sometimes just will feel like there's just way too much hate and negativity in the world, and sometimes the world can already be like a crazy place. I just kind of feel like sometimes it's like, guys, like the world can be like a hard enough place for people. And sometimes too, like when people will try to be like, well, we're doing the right thing or like whatever, I just kind of feel like sometimes like just being so negative towards others like just makes other people feel worse. Like I know with me sometimes that's kind of how I'll honestly feel, and just kind of like, you know, nobody like wants to like accept you or like whatever, wants you like around or whatever. Not that it matters, like whatever, like with me, but anyways, basically I'm just trying to say that I just think we should try to spread love, put love into the world, and not put more hatred out there, because I just really think the world really doesn't need like more hate and negativity than it already can have, I guess. When it comes down to it, I really try to not take this stuff too seriously or to let it get to me too much, and I generally do just try to be like a positive person. I know sometimes like a lot of people have opinions on me, but I really just do try to be the most positive person I can be. And I guess I just try to like stay strong through life and through everything. I do have like a big belief in like God and just like a higher power out there, and us all just trying to be loving and accepting towards one another. I also just really believe that things like do happen for a reason. I really do feel like at the same time I really do have a lot of things like to be grateful for, and one of those things is definitely all you guys that do support me and always are so kind to me. And for you guys, you know, I really am like really grateful and appreciative towards you guys, and that, you know, I get to like do what I do and like whatever. I definitely don't want to seem like I'm just complaining, because obviously I feel like I do have a lot of things like to be thankful for. And I guess that's really all I can do anyway, you know, is just like try to stay positive and like try to just stay strong through everything. I guess though, like hopefully it's okay that I'm making this video, I guess, because I feel like sometimes, I guess, like when anyone's seeing a lot of negative stuff, like sometimes you can always have those moments that things can kind of be a little stressful or will get to you. But I guess I'm just kind of, you know, talking about how sometimes things online can kind of like make me feel, and just like my experiences a little bit. But another thing that I just really want to put out there is just to try to keep in mind that like sometimes I really do feel like, you know, the things that you say to others. This is just like sometimes if you're sending hate to like another person, or if you're, you know, being really mean to someone else, or just like whatever, it really could be doing like a lot of more harm than good, and really just could make somebody feel really bad, and you never really know like how they might act upon seeing that stuff, or how badly it could affect them and just like make them feel and everything like that. So that's just something I always really want to remind people of, is just like, you know, to keep in mind how you might feel, maybe if you were in that position. I also feel like sometimes, like honestly guys, I'm probably not the best at like saying how I feel. Sorry if like this video was like pointless to anyone, or if some things I said didn't make sense or were stupid or anything like that. I love you guys so much, and I guess I will talk to you guys in my next video. So, all right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. All right, bye.